Whenever we are ready to begin.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to the grand finale of Author's Corner. And what better way to wind up the season than to have a global bestseller to share his secrets and strategies with our audience today. The audience comprises of budding authors and authors who have made a mark in the literary world. A very warm welcome to you, Utkarsh.
Thank you so much, Nisha. I really appreciate the opportunity to be with your community. And I think what ALS is doing is serving an important social need.
Absolutely. And before we proceed with our conversation, I'd like to give a brief introduction about Utkarsh. Utkarsh Amitabh, who is the founder of CEO of Network Capital, one of the world's largest career intelligence communities. He's a writer at Harvard Business Review, Chevening Fellow at University of Oxford, and a World Economic Forum Global Shaper who represented the community at the annual meeting in Davos. His new book, The Seductive Illusions of Hard Work, has become a global bestseller, and we shall be discussing the same today. He also writes for Mint, Economic Times, and World Economic Forum. Utkarsh graduated with an MBA from INSEAD Business School, where he was recognized as the Andy Burgess Scholar for Social Entrepreneurship. He is also the torchbearer of Ashoka University Young Indian Fellowship. His work experience includes Microsoft, Harley Davidson Motor Company, and Teach for India. Utkarsh is a Resina Fellow and the recipient of the Inc. Fellowship. Again, a very warm welcome.
I appreciate the introduction. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And today we'll be discussing your book. I hope you have a copy with you to
Oh,
share with our
yes,
audience.
I do. It's The Seductive Illusion of Hard Work. The foreword has been written by the World Economic Forum founder Klaus Schwab. And writing this book has been one of the greatest adventures of my life. I really enjoyed it. In fact, I've just finished my second book, also going to be published by Sage. And I'm just somebody who enjoys writing thoroughly.
That's an amazing achievement at such a young age. Though we have not asked you your age, but we can make out. And you are a young achiever. So it's amazing, Utkarsh. And all the best for your new book.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Now, we'd just like to have a very casual conversation about your journey and about the book, and we are looking forward to hearing more about the book. Now, at a relatively young age, you have accomplished many things. Could you take us through your journey, the literary journey so far, Utkarsh?
Sure. I think the literary journey has come from my multiple experiences academically, professionally, and also in terms of extracurriculars. Um, I love to act. You can find some of my movies on Amazon Prime and lots of theater work that I've done in the past. Then my work experience includes working in organizations like Microsoft, which is a very large multinational, and also non-profits like Teach for India. So it also
Yes.
like the breadth of exposure helped me see the world from different lenses. And now as the CEO of Network Capital, a fast-growing tech company focused on education, I get to interact with people with different convictions about work, different convictions about the meaning of life, so to speak. So just interacting with them, paying attention to different things has, I think, sparked my curiosity more than anything else. And writing is a medium which allows me to engage with my curiosity and express it the way I like.
Absolutely. And when I was going through your profile, trying to, it didn't stop. So, from one, it led me to the other. So I just kept on exploring what Utkarsh is all about. And I could see you almost everywhere, be it TED Talk, be it acting, be it books. So it was amazing to see your journey. And of course, in such a short duration, I could not capture or, bring to the table whatever I would have liked to share. But amazing, and we wish you all the best in future for whatever you are venturing into.
That's so kind of you. I look forward to growing together. I think with the wonderful work that ALS does, I would love for your community members to read my book, to join Network Capital, because I really feel that literature is such an important component of the way we look at society, our reflections literature captures it more elegantly than anything else that I can think of.
Absolutely. And this is where, Asian Literary Society, they step in, because for any theme that we have to write on, we get so many perspectives, and it only broadens our horizons, of thinking, of our perspectives, of our thoughts. And it's amazing. So I think this gives us it's a major platform for people exploring to write who have just started their journey and who are also established. So you get to see a variety of work.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you so much. Now we'll come to your book. The Seductive Illusion of Hard Work has some great reviews from masters like Marshall Goldsmith. In a society where there are already thousands of self-help books, how does this book stand out, and what prompted you to write this book?
Yeah. Nisha, I don't think that Seductive Illusion of Hard Work is a self-help book. It's a book about the future of work. And
Okay.
I think the relationship that all of us have with our employment is changing and has changed. So this
Absolutely.
in the Seductive Illusion of Hard Work, I try and capture some of this change. That how does this new relationship look like? Does hard work lead to success, or is there something more to it? How do we choose what we want to do? On Network Capital, I run. It's a very fast-growing tech company now funded by Facebook, featured everywhere. But the question that comes up more often than not is, I don't know what I want to do with my life. So we created a fellowship around it. I don't know what I want to do with my life fellowship. And there were hundreds and thousands of people who, across age groups, who joined that fellowship, which made me realize that you don't really figure out your age only as you grow older.
Right.
You figure out your age. Perhaps a 60-year-old can teach a lot about life to a 16-year-old, and perhaps that same 60-year-old can learn a lot from that 16-year-old. So this
Yes.
peer-to-peer learning transcends age, nationality, culture, conviction, etc. And I wrote this book because there were many misconceptions about work. And I wanted to provide a research backed, science backed overview of what that looks like, and couple that with my own experiences, traveling around the world, working around the world, observing life from different lenses, so that when you combine stories, literature, and deep insights, I think that's the book of life. At least that's what my aspiration was.
True. For all of us, true.
Yeah. Self-help, I think, is an interesting genre, but I write more about help others. How do we enable uh, systems that can help other people? So Network Capital, the company that I run, the URL is networkcapital.tv in case any of your community members happen to be interested. And our focus is to create a community that helps others accomplish their goals. And this book is a means to help others accomplish their goals with the power of storytelling and research. So it doesn't matter what your religion is, culture is, nationality is. Everyone has something to learn and something to share. My book provides a framework and a strategy of doing it so that you and I can do that and we can inspire other people to do the same. I think self-help is talked about a lot, but help others is talked about
Yes.
less. And I want to change that narrative in that direction.
That's a very, I think it's an amazing, whatever you're sharing with me sounds very interesting. And now I like to grab a book and, copy and read it. So I understand it better, because staying in Dubai, it was very difficult for me to get it such a short notice, get a book copy here. But I'll
Yeah, but
definitely look
yeah,
forward to it.
absolutely. And you should join Network Capital Dubai. Many of our community members are there. We should do ALS Network Capital partnerships, etc., in different cities.
And Manoj is here. He's been commenting, and I'm sure he'll be very happy to collaborate. So this is a
Yes.
golden opportunity, Manoj. I'd like to tell you, please don't miss it. Now, tell me something in this book, because since I haven't had a sneak peek at the book, uh, are there life experiences? How have you presented it? Are there
Yeah.
anecdotes, or how is it? What is the content of the book?
So I do not write anything that I have not experienced, either
Right.
directly or indirectly. For example, I am not a woman, so
Hmm.
but that doesn't mean that I have not met or interacted or collected data on women. So one of the chapters in this book is about wage transparency. So, and that story is a network capital story. When a woman working in a large tech company discovered that she was actually being paid less than her male counterpart in the same team, doing the same role for the past 3 years, she came to us. She was obviously angry. And to give her a suggestion, I needed to figure out everything and I need to read, research, ask other women.
True.
So I decided to include examples like these only when I had direct skin in the game in influencing the decision. If I'm writing about women, I would have collected data from other women on network capital, spoken to them, then come up with an advice. If I'm talking about things like what can startups learn from social movements and stand-up comedy, that means I would have actually observed a protest or a social movement happening in Hong Kong and then observed that or extrapolated that with some of the things that I stumbled upon in the startup journey. And this interconnectedness, the real experienced interconnectedness, is something that I benefited a lot from, and I decided to write about it.
I think it's very similar to us. We write poetry. Like I have published three
Hmm.
books of poetry, and I
Hmm.
think each poem has, a bit of me, some experience
Yeah.
that I've had, something I've observed around me. So I think it's quite similar, and you really inspire us. I mean, somebody would just write facts, but you are writing whatever you have experienced. So somebody just writes just for the heck of writing, but you've experienced and shared it in your book, which is amazing.
Mhm. It was fun. Writing it was heaps of fun for me.
And how was what kind of this thing you have received from the public, the response from the public? How has
Yeah.
it been? Has it been received well?
You know, what's interesting is that, of course, it became an Amazon #1 bestseller. But I didn't
Yes.
write the book for it to become a bestseller. I wrote it so that it could be discovered in small bookshops here and there. As of right now, I'm in London and I was at this bookshop called Daunt Books. It's one of the largest bookstores here. And seeing my book there and people occasionally reading it and stumbling upon it is a deep delight. It's been received well by the market, but also across the world, from Lebanon to Syria to Israel to Australia to Japan. The book is sold everywhere, America, Europe, everywhere. And I think it's more about the problem that the book is tackling, which is our relationship with work, than my own literary genius, because the problem strikes a chord. My job is essentially to explain that problem and provide a version of what that answer solution looks like. But again, like things like I don't know what I want to do with my life is not unique to me or you or anybody else. Everybody at some point feels that. And there should be a book, there should be a community, there should be a business that helps people figure that out. And that's where, in my own small way, I'm trying to fill in that gap.
Wonderful. And the audiences, like their comments are pouring in, and I think they're quite fascinated. And I'm sure you'll take out time from your busy schedule and read and try to respond whenever you find time.
For
So it's
sure.
very interesting. Thank you so much.
I will.
Now, this title of yours was very intriguing. I mean, okay, fine. But when you put that seductive word in that, so
Yeah.
would you like to share what was your thought behind that
Yeah.
title?
Yeah. Hard work has been it's a constant. Indians, a lot of us work hard from school to college because we've grown up with this scarcity mindset that if we don't work hard, like things will not necessarily turn out well for us, whether it is
True.
school, whether it is college, whether it is work. So that's something that we always hear Indians are hustlers and they do all these kinds of things, and I think that's all fair. But I observe the similarities and differences between, say, the Indian response to hard work versus, say, the Japanese response versus, say, the American and the European way of life. And I'm not here to say one is better than the other. But what I know for sure is that hard work is necessary but insufficient for success. What you choose to work on and the people you choose to work with and your self-awareness and your ability to help others is a far stronger indication of how much success you will have, how rich you will be, what kind of impact you will have. So you can keep working hard as much as you want, but if it's misdirected, if it's on the wrong problem, it's with the wrong people, you will not achieve any success. If you look at the Indian education system, for example, like tuition, coaching, all of these things are very lucrative businesses, but there are,
Yes.
I would think, millions of students who waste years and years and years of life trying to hack something. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with them. It's just that they are banging the head on the wrong wall. They are barking up the wrong tree. The same effort, if channelized in something that they actually care about and have a few strengths aligned to it, could lead to a lot more success. Every person cannot be the topper in an exam. It doesn't mean that the person is bad. The person just
True.
is going to be a topper in something else.
Something else.
Don't
True.
push Sachin Tendulkar to become a calculus expert and Albert Einstein to pick a buddy. It's just weird. You should align people to what their strengths are. And today, with all this advancements in science and technology and communities, I'm pretty sure that that's the kind of era that we're all entering in.
On that note, I'd like to share, I have two daughters. My older one is a genius. I mean, I should not be saying it, but she's pursuing her engineering in US. The younger one is a special needs. So we are encashing on her strengths, like not trying to push her into an arena where she's not comfortable. So I think it
Yeah.
stands true for everybody, irrespective.
I think that's really important. First of all, thank you. Great to hear about both your daughters. I would love to have them on Network Capital. But there's
My
one
older one,
chapter,
definitely.
yeah, the one chapter in my book is about people with special needs and
Yes,
how this particular person who was blind learned to do adventure sports travel. And it
oh
all
my God.
comes down to the way his mum talked to him when he was a child.
Exactly.
And the title of the chapter is The Power of Great Expectations. I'll let you read that particular chapter, but your conversation with her, the way you engage her curiosity, is going to define her success in life, in careers, in everything else. Microsoft CEO, where I used to work, Satya Nadella, has been pretty open about the challenges that his children have, and he
Yes,
has like how his children have made him a lot better of a leader, a lot more of an empathetic person. And I
completely
think that
agree.
people like that, people like you, are doing a phenomenal job.
No, I take pride. In fact, we are trying to create an awareness. And if your organization is doing something like this, we'd love to collaborate, especially in Dubai. Like, now you must have heard of Expo 2020. So we
Yeah,
are having, yeah, for Down Syndrome Society, they have a special congress happening. And I'm sharing my daughter's 20 minutes, journey with them there. So it is a golden
phenomenal.
opportunity. Yeah. So, why not? Even if these people can be a part of your network, I will be very, very happy.
Yeah, yeah. My mission in life is to help every person and every organization on the planet build their category of one.
How
And
nice.
whoever that person is, wherever that person comes from, whether it's an Indian like you and I, or whether it's a person from another nationality, whether it's from Israel, whether it's from Palestine, I don't care. The mission is border agnostic.
Thank you so much for sharing this. I mean, this was not a part of a conversation, but I just got carried away. But I'm, happy to hear that you are doing something for every community. You've
Yeah.
not just, yeah. Thank you so much, really. And the audience is really, in awe of you. And I'm happy that we are having this conversation.
I look forward to building a deeper relationship with all of you. A writer writes to engage with his audience, and I'm glad that I get a chance to do that.
Thank you so much. Now, my next question will be like you advocate in your book the importance of networking, mentors,
Yeah.
and choices. So, what advice do you have for the younger generation? Because a lot of people who've joined have this generation who is, stepping into their late teens and
Yeah.
going into colleges. So, what would you like to advise them?
Nisha, networking is about adding value. People think that network capital is a platform where you hobnob with celebrities and successful people. That's not what it is at all. Network capital is a place where people come to figure out what they want to do with their life and then build their category of one. And the people who are able to leverage network capital the most are the people who enable others to become successful. So if you look at the history of the world and if you look at the history of more successful people, a lot of them play a crucial role in enabling others. This is true for platforms as well as people. So the platforms that make other people successful often end up becoming the most successful platform, and the people who make other people successful are also people who become very successful. So when you look at the whole aspect of networking, don't worry about being a celebrity or not being too young or being too old. Instead of asking yourself, what do you not have? You ask yourself, how can I uniquely contribute towards the mission of another person? I'm not here to promote my book. I'm here to make ALS successful. And as a byproduct of that, a lot of my books will be sold or might be sold. I don't know. But when I walk into, when I accept any such conversations, I usually try and say like, what will be most relevant to the audience? What will be most helpful to the organization? And my own success usually is a byproduct of keeping others at the back of my mind.
Thank you. And when I was reading about you online, then I read your article on Mint, about the students who were trying to raise some money for an international nonprofit. And then you went and
Yeah,
had a conversation with them. And that helped
yeah.
them to change their strategy. So, what was it all about? Because it was very interesting.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think this also brings the topic of seductive illusion of hard work, right? The students who are trying to raise their money. Um, in many cultures, say the hustling and hard work is glorified. Like if you sleep for 2 hours, evidently that's a good thing. It could be, I mean, if you're designed that way, but broadly, assuming that I'm working very hard, so success must be a natural byproduct is just wrong. Jeff Bezos sleeps peacefully for 8 hours. He thinks deeply for 8 hours and done some other stuff for a few hours. I don't think that this like 8 hour balance can be achieved for everybody at all stages of their life. But I think Jeff Bezos or anybody doesn't become successful because they put more hours. They picked the problem carefully where they had unique skills. And then they kept applying those skills till they built their category of one. So the legend has it that Jeff Bezos once in college was trying to build a career as a physicist, and he was struggling with a physics and maths problem for a very long time, along with his friend. And after 2 3 hours of work, they just went across the hall and discussed it with another person, and that other person looked at that question and typed out like wrote the answer. And Bezos says, that's the day I realized I'm not going to be a world class physicist. It doesn't mean that Bezos is stupid. It just means that he had the foresight to realize that he's not going to be, as good in terms of skills in a particular subject, but his category of one lies in a slightly different direction. And today, Amazon is $1 trillion company. He's perhaps the most successful person on the planet in terms of business. And the person who solved the difficult question that Bezos was struggling with in seconds is perhaps also doing very well in physics or in a different space. I don't know. Nobody knows about that particular person. But it doesn't mean that Bezos is better than that person. It just means that two different people chose two different paths and did very well.
Excelled in that. I think your voice, no, your voice is, I think there's some issue with your mic, but I can't hear you. Can the audience hear him? I think there is some issue with your connection.
Is it better now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
We were so lost. I didn't even realize your voice went off.
Oh no, so I was just saying that there's no hierarchy. It doesn't mean that Bezos is better than his friend or friend is better than the Bezos. This whole notion of I am better than you or you are better than me is just a weird concept. Nobody is better than anybody. We are all
Yes.
trying to build our own paths. and let's not get distracted by trying to beat other people and trying to defeat and become number one, or just that. Build your category of one. Don't get seduced by the illusion of hard work, and try and do something that you're genuinely curious about, because you won't be able to fake it for too long. You won't be able to pretend for too long that, oh, you actually like something when you don't.
But there's a lot of pressure from parents. You've seen
Yeah,
in India how it is. I think
yeah,
things are changing outside. Like somebody wants to pursue music, and the parents would push him because I want you to be an engineer. So I think that pressure is still there on the
yeah,
young students. So how do you deal
yeah.
with that? I mean, we can't change the mindset of the parents actually.
It's a tricky question to solve, because parents are pretty involved in most parts of the world, but
Yes.
in India, they definitely, it's like a family decision, like what should a child pursue and so forth. And in more cases than not, they decide that, oh, the child should study engineering or medicine
True.
or law. Um, and that is definitely one way to look at it. But I really feel that how children choose their careers needs to be looked at, which is why Network Capital started its own school. Because I was so tired of the way the schooling system was being tackled, that I said, okay, we don't need to make micro changes here and there. We really need to reimagine the system from ground up. So instead of telling kids what they should do with their lives, we should be able to encourage them to conduct micro experiments. It comes
True.
back to the I don't know what I want to do with my life fellowship altogether. My vision for the future is that both parents and kids will take this fellowship together. So that
Yes.
even if it is a family decision of what should a child pursue, they should discuss and deliberate. Right now, what happens is that Chunnu's mom's auntie said something, hence it must be true. Or that somebody's son's daughter did something, that must be true. It's really unnerving both for parents and for the kids. Because again, there isn't a platform where they can actually get legitimate career advice. And nobody else can tell you what you should do. You need to come to that realization yourself. But there
True.
needs to be a community, there needs to be a system. And my book is one such attempt, so that parents and children and young professionals and old can read and figure out and objectively see that work as hard as you want once you have discovered what you want to do.
Right.
Or keep trying out these micro experiments till you land into a space where you find that your passion, your interests, your strengths, your curiosities are aligned. So that's the key.
No, I speak as a parent now because with my older one also, she was, wanted to pursue engineering but was inclined towards music. So, just to ease out things with her, I said the day you feel that music is your passion, please go ahead. But don't struggle in
Yeah,
an arena that you are, not going to be happy in. She wants to pursue special
yeah,
education. So, youngsters, teenagers, how, the mind is shrouded with a lot of options and choices, and they get, tempted. So I said, the day you want to change your career path, please go ahead, because we ultimately want our children to be happy. So I think
yeah.
that's a very great learning from you we get.
Thank you.
So for me, I also watched a couple of your TED talks. Now tell me, what about this motivational conversations you have with the audience, and what drives you?
It's the desire to help other people and other organizations at scale drives me. I write, speak, build everything I do, from writing to delivering TED Talks to authoring books to building a company, raising capital, etc. Everything is focused on creating systems to help other people, because that's also most meaningful to me, and that's also something where my skills and my talents and my networks and my education and professional backgrounds are most useful. So I really believe that every person on the planet has one or two superpowers.
True.
Most people, unfortunately, don't get to discover them until it's too late. And I want to change that. Like, create a framework, create a system where people have the opportunity to discover their superpower. As I told you, like, if you push Sachin Tendulkar to become a master in calculus, probably it's a waste of everybody's time and potential.
Absolutely. So has it been successful? I mean, whatever you were aiming at, Do you think you achieved even 10% of it?
I think I'm very happy with the progress, but I'm
Yes,
also hungry for more.
more.
So I left Microsoft last year, and Microsoft is a well-paying, prestigious job that I had, and I was doing pretty well. Um, and I'm now the CEO of NetworkCapital.tv. Happy to share that we have thousands of paying subscribers, a community of hundreds and thousands of people around the world, from London to Lucknow, Paris to Patna, New Delhi to New York. Um, and we have the love and support of a company like ALS. We recently raised funding from Facebook. There are some more announcements coming up our way, which we're really excited by. We'll also work with the government of India to provide mentorship to 1.6 million students as part of the Atal Innovation Mission. But the problem is so large. There are 300 million children in India alone. Most of them are under resourced, under mentored. They don't really get so. Should not be resting on our laurels. We are happy and hungry. That's the way I would describe it.
That's a very inspiring. Again, I'm speechless just listening to you, and it has been so. You are so inspirational. I think a lot of people are going to take away so much from here, and definitely will tell parents, especially with people who are who have children in the late teens who are heading towards colleges, to definitely read this book. For my daughter, I'm surely ordering this. So
You're
it's
very kind.
now, just one more thing. I was listening to you that World Economic Forum. You had one some question answers that were happening. So I just happened to listen to your part. You stressed upon mentoring and inclusive innovation and shifting focus from what to why to how. Now, what do you have to
Yeah.
say about this? It was very well
Uh, you
presented,
know,
actually.
Yeah, thank you. Our education system, or most education system around the world, is still rooted in the industrial era. So the way, say, classrooms are designed, they're not very different from the way factories are designed. Now imagine cars get made in the same space as kids get made. Isn't that unfortunate? So we haven't really moved past the industrial era school design. And in the industrial era, the focus was on just getting stuff done, and there was a lot of scarcity at that time. We focused on the what. What is the speed of light? Which year was Babur born? Which year did this invasion
It
happen?
was a rote
Which are
learning, basically rote learning. Yeah.
pointless questions which can be Googled or Binged by anybody. The beauty of the new kind of education system, which I hope Network Capital plays a meaningful role in, would be focused on shifting from what to why and how. In the board examinations in India, at least, a question that I stumbled upon was, what is the speed of light till eight significant figures? Yeah. The same question asked in Norway was, why is it important to measure the speed of light till eight significant figures? And it's useless knowing the speed of light till eight significant figures. I don't know it. I don't think anybody should know it unless they really, want to win a memory competition or something. But it is important to have the curiosity to know why. And the people who often ask why are the people who keep building their curiosity muscle. Curiosity, just like your muscles in your hand, etc., can be built with practice. And the people who build their curiosity muscle are often the most innovative and interesting people. They are the people who are more likely to build their category of one. And I think that follow your passion is a confusing career advice. Follow your curiosity is a wonderful career advice, because curiosity is pure. Curiosity comes from why, and what is available on Google. Don't waste your time memorizing. Know some stuff. Like you should know what the GDP
I
of
think it's
India
more,
is, what is
more
the
on
GDP of the
application.
world.
Yeah. More
Yeah,
on application of your knowledge.
exactly.
So really, Utkarsh, it has been a very wonderful session, and we are so glad to have you on board and supporting ALS in its endeavors. If there's anything that you would like to share with the audience before we wind up the session, though we would like another session with you, hopefully in the
Yeah,
next season.
sure. No,
By the
definitely.
time,
Anything ALS wants.
yeah, so
I'm
by
there
that
for
time,
all of you.
a few of us would have read your book, so we'd understand you
Yes.
it better.
Yeah. You know, my my parting message to all of you would be that it's absolutely okay to be confused about your life. It's absolutely okay to don't know what you're doing with your life, as long as you know that there is a way to become progressively less confused every day. You will
True.
not figure your out life out tomorrow, but if you try and get a focus on getting slightly less confused every day, trying to distinguish between things you cannot change and things you can change,
Can change.
you will be able to make progress. I like to define things that you can't change as gravity problems, right? If you work for 17 years in, say, product management, and now you want to do social impact, your past experience won't change. So cribbing about why did 17 years turn out that way is a pointless
No.
exercise. What you can do is to say, okay, what did I learn from there that I can
Which
apply
we
in a
can apply.
different context? And
True.
it's also Stoic philosophy. The underlying principle of Stoic philosophy is to keep the difference in mind between things you can change and things you can't. And I think that's same when it comes to careers as well. So please be ruthlessly rational at moments of weakness. Because when you're feeling weak and confused and low, like many of us did during the pandemic, it's very easy to get swayed in a completely random direction. That's the time when you need to really check yourself. And I, I'm nobody to give you the license, but if you think I am somebody with some legitimacy in this space, please remember that there are times in your life where you need to be ruthlessly rational, and you should, without guilt. And being confused about your career is one such time where ruthless rationality helps.
Very well said, Utkarsh. We really appreciate your time and whatever you have shared with us. And we'll definitely get back to you with what our audience thinks. And I just hope and pray you find some time to just read the comments later and reply to whatever you think possible.
Sure, I'll do that. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much. I
much.
appreciate
Thank you
that.
so much.
Great to be here and talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Thank you so much. And I would like to just end this session with a big, big thank you to Asian Literary Society and to Utkarsh for being here today. And we look forward to seeing you in the next season, probably a couple of months later. And we'll try to get Mr. Utkarsh back on other platform. Thank you so much. Good
Thank
night.
you. Bye. Good night.